Hello students, uh, welcome back to a new video, 8th puzzle video. Here I am going to share with you the structure of the nephron. Kidney we have discussed in the class, so a little bit of the nephron in details. Okay, so first of all, if you look at the structure of nephron, you will see the first of all the structure comes known as Malpighian corpuscle. Okay, so Malpighian corpuscle, and then what next we see the PCT, then we see Henle's loop, then we see DCT, and then we see collecting duct. Okay, now if you look at the structure of the and the location of the nephron, okay, then how it is, if you remember the kidney anatomy, okay, the peripheral part of the kidney is known as the cortex, and then the medulla is the inner side. Okay, renal pyramid is present there. Renal pyramids are mainly triangular shape. The broader part is present in the cortex area, and the apex part is present in the medulla area of the kidneys. Okay, now within these renal pyramids we see the nephrons. Nephrons are the structural and functional unit of the kidney, where the purification of blood that takes place. Okay, now the part of the nephron, that is the Malpighian corpuscle, PCT, DCT, these are the three parts which are mainly located in the cortex part of the kidney. Okay, Malpighian corpuscle, PCT and DCT are located in the cortex part of the region, whereas the Henle's loop and the major part of the collecting duct is present in the medulla part of the kidney. Okay, so now let's see the Malpighian corpuscle. What exactly the Malpighian corpuscle is? Malpighian corpuscle, basically it consists of glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Glomerulus is actually what? The renal artery which enters into the kidney. Okay, it enters into the renal pyramid in the form of arteriole. Okay, the arteriole, once it enters into the renal pyramid, it enters into the nephron. Okay, in the form of afferent arteriole, AFFERENT, afferent arteriole. Okay, so this afferent arteriole enters into the nephron, and then when it enters into the into the Bowman's capsule, okay, it divides into many finer blood capillaries. Bowman's capsule is nothing but the cup-shaped structure of the kidney, of the nephron. Okay, so it's a cavity, a cup-shaped structure. Within the cavity, okay, this afferent arteriole enters in the form of different renal blood capillaries. Okay, and then these blood capillaries again combine together and leave the Bowman capsule in the form of efferent arteriole, EFFERENT. So remember this, afferent arteriole which enters into the Bowman's capsule, okay, divides into many blood capillaries known as glomerulus. Okay, then these blood capillaries or the glomerulus, they combine together and they form efferent arteriole and they leave the Bowman's capsule. Clear? So you can understand the blood capillaries or the glomerulus which are there inside in the cavity of the Bowman's capsule, these are comparatively narrow blood vessel in compared to the arterioles. Okay, so obviously when an arteriole, okay, divides into capillaries, the narrower capillaries, obviously you can understand the pressure, hydrostatic pressure in the nephron will be in the blood capillaries will be increased, Okay, so now, so this is the Malpighian body or Malpighian corpuscle, which is also known as renal corpuscle, okay, which consists of glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Next part of the nephron is the PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Now what is the meaning of this proximal convoluted tubule? Proximal means what? Proximal means near to, close to. Close to what? Close to Bowman's capsule. Okay. Convoluted. Convoluted means spiral shaped, coiled structure. Okay. And then tubule. So why tubule term comes here? Tubules means the nephron is also known as renal tubule. That is why this part is known as tubule. So proximal convoluted tubule. Okay. Now if you look at the, let's go to the Bowman's capsule again once more. Okay. Something I need to say about it. See, in the Bowman's capsule, the outer part of the Bowman's capsule, okay, the outer part of the Bowman's capsule, basically we see here cells, flattened squamous epithelium cells. Okay, flattened squamous epithelium cells are present at the outer side of the Bowman's capsule. Inner wall of the Bowman's capsule, where we see some cells, okay, and in between the cells we see some pores are there. The cells which are present in the inner side of the Bowman's capsule known as porocytes, and in between the cell there are some gaps known as slit pores. These are those pores through which the substances along with the water will be entered from the glomerulus into the Bowman's capsule, into the nephron. Okay, so in between the podocytes, the cells, the free spaces, openings are known as the slit pores. Okay, now if you look at the PCT that we have already discussed to you, PCT is mainly, here you see brush border epithelium tissue. Now let me tell you, in between the Bowman's capsule and the PCT, there is a small neck part is there, where you will see ciliated epithelium cells are present, and in the PCT you will see brush border epithelium tissues. Why this brush border structure? Why this cilia are present in the tubule? Because the cilia, the hair-like structures, the brush-like structures, they help in the movement of substances. Okay. After that, let's come to the loop of Henle. Loop of Henle, if you see, loop of Henle, we let's divide it into two parts: descending limb and the ascending limb. Two limbs are there in the Henle's loop, right? Descending limb, let's divide it into two parts again. Descending limb, I am dividing into two parts. Okay, upper part and the lower part. If you look at the structure very carefully, you will see that upper part of the descending limb is little thicker. Okay, which is mainly made up of cuboidal epithelium tissue, whereas the lower part of the descending limb, it is thin, it is not thick. So that is made up of squamous epithelium tissue, flat squamous epithelium tissue. So the thicker part is the cuboidal and the narrow part is lower part narrow, which is the squamous epithelium cells are there. Same in case of this ascending limb, we are dividing into two, upper part and the lower part. Upper part is thicker, inner part is thinner. Okay, upper part, thicker part where the cuboidal epithelium is there, inner part is the thinner where the squamous, flat squamous epithelium cells are there. Okay, let's go to the DCT. DCT again same convoluted structure is there. Okay, and then we will see there the collecting duct, where ultimately the urines get collected from all the nephrons, the urine comes. Okay, now there is a term known as duct of Bellini. Duct of Bellini, B-E-L-L-I-N, duct of Bellini. What is this? Duct of Bellini is the duct where all the these collecting duct, they come from both the sides of nephron, they combine together and they make the ducts of Bellini, where all the urine comes. And this duct of Bellini, which ultimately connects to the papillae of the pyramid, the apex part. Okay, from there, okay, that urine moves to the calyx minor, then calyx major, and then to the renal pelvis. This is the direction, this is the route through which the urine moves. Clear? Okay, now nephrons are of two different types: cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron. Now what are these two types of nephrons? cortical nephrons, you can say 85% of the nephrons in our kidney are cortical nephrons, whereas only 15% are juxtamedullary nephron. Okay. So cortical nephron means what? Cortical nephron means the most part of the nephrons are present in the cortex area of the kidney. The Malpighian corpuscle, PCT, okay, most of the part of the Henle's loop and the DCT, okay, are present in the cortical part. Very small part of the Henle's loop found in the medulla region. So this kind of nephron is called cortical nephron. Okay, whereas juxtamedullary nephron means where the most of the part of the nephron are you can say the most of the part of the Henle's loop, okay, and the collecting duct, they are in the medulla part, okay, and the part of the Malpighian corpuscle, PCT, DCT present in the cortex part, but that is very near to the medulla region. Okay, PCT, DCT and the cortex Malpighian corpuscle are located very near to medulla region, though in the cortex part very near to medulla. That's why these kind of nephrons are known as juxtamedullary nephron. Okay, very close to the medullary part of the nephron. Clear? So this is the these are the different types of nephrons we have. So majority 85% of the nephron we have cortical nephron. Okay, only 10 to 15% nephrons are the juxtamedullary nephron. So in the mechanism of urine formation, we will see ultrafiltration, tubular secretion, and selective reabsorption, and then tubular secretion. Okay, so the Malpighian corpuscle part, where exactly the ultrafiltration process that takes place, the hydrostatic pressure, okay, that leads to the transmission of the waste products and the nutrients which are dissolved in the water, okay, comes in the Bowman's capsule from the glomerulus. The selective reabsorption that takes place in the PCT, in the Henle's loop, in the DCT. What is reabsorbed? All the nutrients are reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. Okay, mainly the PCT and the DCT part where the reabsorption takes place. Okay, and then some portion of reabsorption takes place in the Henle's loop and very small amount in the collecting duct, but majority in the PCT, DCT. Tubular secretion also takes place in the PCT, DCT. Okay, small amount in the Henle's loop. Okay, so this is the entire mechanism where it takes place. Okay, the detailed analysis of the mechanism we will be discussing in the class. Okay. I hope this much of discussion on the structure of the nephron will help you to understand better about kidneys, the nephron and its functioning. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope that you will successfully be able to answer the questions that I have been asked in the video. Okay, thank you so much.